So here's something you don't see too terribly often. Sorry, it's pretty windy out here. Audio may be a little poor, but got this, what is that, about a 5 to 6 foot long walnut log, but it's got this big old burl on there. I mean, it's probably about 2 foot diameter, and it's just on one side. Pretty gnarly. And so we're gonna cut this into 8/4 material. Well, just gonna roll the camera and see what we open up. So I'm gonna set you guys down on the shelf, and we're gonna start making some sawdust. Okay, so it got really windy and the audio was really bad here, but what I'm showing is the top part of that burrow, and you can see where the ants got into it, and it's just got some really cool grain and color that will make some really cool projects, whether it's knife handles or using it in an epoxy project. But we'll get back to cutting here. This will make some nice epoxy projects down the future. So we're just cutting this at 8/4, 2 inches thick. Make some nice tabletops, or imagination, anywhere your imagination takes you. It's got some really cool color, really cool grain. Keep digging. So my audio faded out again on this clip. You can see we're about down to the burl on that left side. The edge of the burl kind of wraps around on that right hand side a little bit deeper, but we're going to cut a few more slabs down to the end until we start taking full length slabs, and then we'll start cutting 10/4, 2.5 inch thick slabs, and we'll still get a little bit of cool grain, maybe a book match out of that. There's a big old void in here. There, who knows what was inside there. I think there might have been a mouse nest or something, but a little scared to stick my hands in there. I started to make this cut and then only made it about a foot or so in, and then realized that that burl was going to get too wide for my blade guide there on the right hand side. Was just hitting it, probably about a ½ inch or so. So I had to go get my saw and just trim that up a little bit to be able to make it pass through. It didn't take a whole lot, but it's always just a touch too big. Cool piece. Got this little oval cutout going on right here, and there will be this does get out of the way here, but yeah, it looks like we opened up somebody's upstate home. Mouse nest in there. But we'll go ahead and take off one more 8/4 slab, and then we'll turn it over and start cutting 2.5. I think is what we're going to do. So I edited out about 4 or 5 minutes of fiddling around with the hydraulics trying to get this thing to turn over. These odd-shaped logs just never quite work right. Sometimes it's just best to break out the cant hook and make it behave, but we got her flopped over. I ended up wanting to spin this around just because of the way the log was kind of shaped. It just worked better to change end for end, so I raised the clamp right under the middle of the log, and then you kind of just spin it around to shove it back just a little bit so it would get on that last bunk. You can see it just barely catching there, but it was enough to support it while we cut the last couple slabs. tip it just log around. So these last two pieces didn't really have a whole lot of burl. Some nice grain. They're a book match. It's kind of got that little knob there on the far side. A little bit of burl. You can see the color variation that most likely came from the void, which would be on the bottom of the piece that's sitting on the sawmill right now. The piece on the left just drying out a little bit faster and kind of turns that dark color, but kind of a cool piece yet. I was putting this video together and realized that I didn't get any shots of the slabs after we'd cleaned all the sawdust off, so I leaned them up and splashed some water on here, and you can see just the cool grain variation. You get the color, swirls. Ants did their work on it, tunneling through there. Obviously it'll take some epoxy on these slabs to turn it into a finished product. You can see in this far right slab there's a little bit of white spalting, or the tree had died in that area. Just gives it a really unique grain pattern. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed watching us cut this walnut burl open. If you have comments or questions, feel free to leave those below and we'll do our best to get back with you. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and we will catch you next time.